All right, what's up, y'all? We're back with another show for the No Filter podcast. Today we're talking about some of the popular podcasters: Kevin Samuels, Lapifa, Derek Jackson. So, what do y'all think of these folks?
What's your opinion on these people? Because these folks typically are not happy, or they're not they don't have fans from the female perspective.
Okay, first off, I like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is blunt and honest, and since I don't really talk to women like that, I did not know that women said that much stupid shit.
Oh shit, we ain't gonna have no friends left.
Oh,
It's
geez.
true.
Just go ahead. Do your thing.
Listening to the women on there gave me a whole new perspective. I cannot wrap my head around the mentality of these modern women. These bitches are lazy, feel entitled, and they have nothing to offer. So I appreciate Kevin Samuels telling them the truth, that there's so much more than what you look like, and you are not the table that you say you are. The Lapive people, the Anton guy, I watched a few clips and he aggravates the fuck out of me. The clip that I saw was him talking about preparing the boys that he mentors to marry his daughter, right? I don't think that past traditions match with modern times. And I think if he's molding her to be a wife and doing all this stuff, what type of personality will she have when she gets older? And if he's doing all this, at some point she's going to rebel, whether it's drugs, sex, alcohol, something. She's going to rebel because that's too much control.
I can dig it. Mook.
What's up?
Go for it, Mook.
Go for it. I don't got nothing. I ain't got shit to say about this topic at all. I don't feel no way about that.
Oh no, you feel some type of way about
Jackson?
Mr. Derek.
Huh? Who? Oh man. Fuck Derek Jackson. Fuck him. Fuck Derek Jackson. That pontification.
Oh, okay. Well, since this is the episode that we're gonna discuss popular podcasters who specifically talk about relationships. What's your honest take on all of these particular not necessarily the content, because we've already figured out that we mostly agree with content sans Derek Jackson. What's your take? And then you can flame Derek Jackson up too if you want to, because we know you want to. You actually did it on the whole podcast that wasn't dedicated to him.
that had nothing to do with him, but I think it's okay, hold on. First, let me start by saying that not everybody is meant to give out advice. Not everybody should be allowed to give out advice. Now, not to say that you can't learn something from these people. However, like, you got to take some of this shit with a grain of salt. Like, if a motherfucker telling you everything you want to hear, you might want to reevaluate some shit. Like, Derek Jackson is a huge, huge advocate, and women love him. Why? Because he does not hold these bitches accountable, and that's the issue. Now,
They
on the
used to
opposite-
love him.
what's
Till
up?
he got caught they used to love him till he got caught tiddlywinking.
No, and there are still women that watch this motherfucker and support him. And I'm like, and it boggles my mind. Those are the motherfuckers that really just like up here, they not on there. But it actually makes sense because he's still not holding them accountable. He barely held himself accountable for cheating. That's some narcissistic ass shit right there. Like, I want you to really think about how narcissistic you have to be to not hold women accountable and yourself. Like, you sat up here and had a video with your wife in a bonnet. I want you to wait. Let's really break that video down. You didn't even. It's like you wanted us to see your wife and be like, I can see why he cheated. That bitch, she looked like she just came from under a railroad. Like, this bitch was in a bonnet, no makeup, just looking like he had a gun in her back. Like, I shit you not. But women was like, oh, well, he makes mistakes. But my phone ring and I don't look at it, I'm cheating. Like, what the fuck? What? Now, even on the opposite spectrum, like, women do not like being held accountable. Kevin Samuels holds these women fucking accountable. I'm not okay. Let me start by saying I don't like him, and I don't always agree with how. I don't know. I can't explain it. His message is flawless. You can't argue it. But it's just something I can't put my finger on. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's him per se. However, some of the shit he says that comes out of his mouth, I'll be like, you a bitch. Like, you're a whole bitch. But your arguments are sound. And that's why women don't like him. They done called this man, I don't know who said it. They done called this man everything under the sun. Gay, fucking. He ain't shit. His mama didn't raise him right. But none of you bitches said he was wrong about nothing. Nothing. He has never been wrong. Derrick Jackson has been wrong. Wrong. And y'all just be like, he is our hero. He's our messiah. You fucking idiots. So, to answer your question, I feel as though everybody needs to take accountability for their own shit. There is no guru out there that knows everything about relationships. A lot of this shit is trial and error. And if you find yourself clinging to one person or the other just because they say what you want to hear, you're going to miss out on a lot of shit.
You got some more? That's some more.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Wait. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more as this goes on, but I'm really trying to taper off. Like, I'm really trying to be better and not get so angry and hyped up. But I'm pretty sure Ari or you are going to say something, and I'm just going to be like, my blood's going to boil, and I'm going to have to jump on it. But for right now, I've said my piece. But it's still
fun. Personally, Derrick Jackson is my hero, and I think you should strive to be like him.
Motherfucking, why you want to trigger me? Why would you want this to go all the way? Like, Derrick Jackson shouldn't be like, okay, never mind. Derrick Jackson should be nobody's hero at all. Like, hands down, he did nothing but serve himself. He has broken up numerous relationships. I already know for a fact he's broken up relationships. He's caused heartache and discontent, all the while being a fucking fraud. Pandering to the lowest common denominator because y'all don't want to take accountability for yourself. I can't even, like, there have been so many Derrick Jackson videos that I was just like, I can't even pick one where he said something that made sense. There was literally nothing that he ever said in any video that was like, hey, you know what? You women need to check yourself. It's always the men. Oh, if he can't do this, then he don't deserve a queen. If you don't get your little bitty t-shirt wearing ass, oh God, pisses me off. Oh, fucking so infuriating. This nigga got
I
books.
strive to emulate a man with such courage and conviction and the wherewithal to speak to. I'm sorry.
Are you done? Are you done? You just like, I don't know. It's like, did somebody pay you to do this? Like, are you trying to kill me? You want my blood pressure to shoot up out my fucking head? That's what you want, huh? Derrick Jackson is the worst human being to ever walk the planet. Like,
I don't know, man. Like you got some motherfuckers like David Duke and Hitler. Like they pretty far up there. No. He's right up there. He's like 1A. Like he's up there. He is a subset of the number one spot. Like that motherfucker did, and he did it by tearing down other Black men. Like that's what really irked me, is that you took something and you just were like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna fucking bash men at any given turn. At any given turn. Like there was never a time where he spoke positive about me. Ever. Never. Not once. You sound like he ruined the relationship with two of yours, partner.
Oh no, he couldn't ruin some shit that was already fucked up.
Moving on. So Ari, what do you have?
Moving on.
Jumping right the fuck out of that one. Woo.
Carry on.
So one of the things that he mentioned in that Derrick Jackson video is how he had his wife dressed. Going back to Kevin Samuels, a lot of them women come on there looking like shit and have the audacity to be arrogant in what the fuck they say. When they can't answer a question, they can't give an answer that makes sense to what he's asked. They say something that has nothing to do with what he's talking about. I agree. The accountability is important. And that's what pisses them off. How the fuck you gonna get better if you can't admit how you fucked up?
Exactly. And it's just that simple. And women in general, I feel like somebody should have some different argument, but if there is no accountability, like, and they don't hold themselves accountable, and Kevin Samuels don't take, and he doesn't let these motherfuckers just get away with shit. Like, answer the question. How you feel about something does not matter. Answer the question is there. You can't supersede the question because you feel some type of way about it. And that's the problem. Women feel too much shit. Like, stop feeling. Like, God damn, you feel. What feel? I just find it funny. Man, get out of my face. Jesus Christ.
You sound really angry, Mook.
Hell, man. I should have, you know what? We should have moved this podcast to a different day. I should have been on this part. I should have took a break from this one.
You don't sound well right now, bro. Okay. So most people refer to this current trend as the red pill. So when I talk about them, I'm talking about them all, right? It's not like it's a conversation that's a secret. The conversation has been being held for quite some time. Although amongst ourselves, like men typically have had this conversation with one another, and then we just go back to the relationship to deal with the bullshit that we got to deal with. because we're not really trying to get into no fucking argument with no broad about no dumb shit. So just let it go and talk to the homies about how fucked up the broad is. I feel like this current trend is helpful in opening the dialogue and providing understanding for the entirety of the community. However, it is hurtful as most people have really polarizing, extremely opposite perspectives, and no one wants to actually have the dialogue at the table. Because if somebody has a preconceived notion about Mr. KS, it's hard to get them to back off their square. And the same holds true for Mr. Jackson. Like, I mean, you got to think about it, right? Like, so my stance is always going to be my stance. Like, if you're in a relationship with a motherfucker, the only person that could tell you how to make the relationship work is the motherfucker you're in a relationship with. So having all types of dialogue with another motherfucker don't really make no goddamn bit of difference. Because, you know, I can tell you what I would do in the situation or how I would feel in the situation, but I come with a different fucking set of experiences. So that don't mean he's gonna feel that way. And there's very little what Brod's gonna do that's gonna really have me extra offended to be wanting to have that exchange. You do or say any of the things that I hear bitches say on the internet. It's like, whatever. Like, you solo, you just don't know you solo. Like, that's how that works. Your mentality is solo. So go ahead and move solo. Like, do your thing. Like, we started the movie together, but now we have two separate plot lines. And I'm not too worried about what your plot line is, and whatever you bump into and whatever motherfuckers you face, that's your shit. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'll say this, right? So you specifically pointed out Anton. Him, I feel like he is one of those beta men who presents alpha traits when he's around women and other beta men. Mm-hmm. So he looks to be like he might be an alpha at times, but ain't nobody finna tell me in a conversation with a chick, and I think she's lying or not being forthright. I'm not finna have the gimmick of putting on a bunch of caps. That's some shit a bitch would do. Like, if you arguing with a chick and she start putting on wigs and hats saying you capping, yeah, that's some bitch shit. And if you got bitch tendencies, that means you're a bitch, and that's why you a beta. And then he likes to do what bitches do. Like, he don't answer questions. Like he will literally hit you with the but see, what if this was blah 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 blah? Like, nah, motherfucker, that ain't what I said. Like, answer the actual questions. So I'm not a huge fan of his. And Mr. KS, I'm not gonna front. I dig his message, right? He's a beta too, though. Despite what motherfuckers believe, he's a beta. But he's a cool beta. Like, I kind of fuck with it, but I couldn't have a platform and a broad is doing the antics that the women do on his show, and then he responds like a broad frequently. Like, if you got something to say and you're gonna say what you want to say it. Like, this motherfucker got a podcast, and it's a 3-hour long show. And if the broad is talking, why are you cutting her off, muting her mic, talking to the camera, talking about some, don't talk, don't over talk me. How about you just shut the fuck up, let her make her point, and then prove her wrong? like, like that makes so much more sense than muting her mic, because she's still gonna say what she want to say. Don't you ever talk me. I'm a grown ass man. That's not some shit a grown ass man would have to say though. That's kind of strange. So I feel, but I fuck with his message, and his message is particularly geared toward women who want a particular type of man, right? And I think a lot of people miss that point. He is specifically talking about extremely high earning men that exist on a particular end of the spectrum. Like he'll make a statement like, high value men don't cheat, they exercise options. Well, we all know that to be true, so there's no reason to argue that. Like, I mean, one of the most famous bitches in the world was Marilyn Monroe. We know this bitch to be famous because she was fucking JFK. We know, I mean, for years we was running around calling fucking fellatio Lewinsky because we know Monica Lewinsky sucked off Bill Clinton in the Oval Office while getting fucked with a cigar. Hillary didn't leave that motherfucker. So we know the truth of the matter. Yet you get women, regular broads, who's going to be regular their whole lives arguing on the internet just for the sake of argument. It's weird. So the message in and of itself, how do each of y'all feel about the message being presented that yes, women should be held accountable, but how do you truly hold someone accountable in today's day and age? I mean, ain't no beating up bitches because you're going to jail. That ain't finna happen. And they ain't your kid, so you ain't finna put no bitch on punishment. And I used to make the joke all the time, like, you tell me to do something and I say no, and you tell me I'm not gonna get no pussy. No, I'm not gonna get no pussy from you. Like, so pussy punishment ain't a real thing. So I have to assume getting put on dick punishment ain't a real thing either. So how do you hold someone? How do you hold your significant other accountable at that point? Especially if they've never learned accountability in any facet of their life. Floor is open. Take it away.
Divorce. There's no other option.
Hear ye, hear ye. One of the greatest words to ever be manufactured.
Because there's no other option. There's nothing you could do to teach somebody to hold themselves accountable. What you're gonna do is you're gonna find yourself in a fucking deadly loop of going back and forth with a person over and over again. If you try to tell them to be accountable for their own actions, you can't do it because everybody feels like they're entitled to something else. You can't. The message that each one of them portrays fits whatever narrative that they're trying to accomplish at that time. Derrick Jackson, as much as I dislike this motherfucker, he knew what he was doing. He knew that women do not like to be held accountable. So he fed into it. I hate it for him. I hate him for it. And I hate the women that fucking followed him. But he knew that. It is what it is. You can't make somebody be accountable. You can't. You cannot. It is impossible. And it's sad because I was sitting here while you were talking, I was really sitting here thinking, and all I was thinking about is my life and all the shit that I've been through. And I was like, that is fucking real. That is real shit. Because you can't. Because nobody feels like they're wrong in the situation. They just don't. It is mind-boggling how they just do not want to take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
I'm with you, like offline, me and you have had that conversation. Like there's only two ways to really hold a bitch accountable: beat her ass or leave.
Yeah,
I'm not beating no bitch the fuck up because I'm not going to jail for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like if If you ain't got my last name, I ain't going to jail for you. End statement. Like, it's a really simple concept.
And it's crazy.
But yeah, like so leaving is the option. So, all right, how do you feel about that particular aspect of it? Like, because you're a woman, so we're not saying you represent all women. You've already clearly called these bitches stupid and all types of other shit. But how would you expect to be if you were in a situation where someone was telling you, you have done this, this, and this, and what you're saying makes zero sense? How do you think you should be held accountable? Because I'm pretty sure you don't want to be in a relationship with a motherfucker who's telling you, you got two choices, this or I'm leaving you. Because that's kind of an ultimatum.
Right. Well, personally, self-awareness is very important to me. I analyze the shit that I do to see if I need to make changes and stuff, right? So if I'm not doing something that he wants me to do, or I'm not getting it, there's no reason to stay with me. We're not compatible. Move the fuck on.
Well, that was simple enough. Oh, we do reasonably know that is not how relationships go.
Well, you put effort in it, but how many times do you want to keep repeating yourself? You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to keep saying the same shit over and over and over again. I'm tired of talking. Just part ways.
Okay, y'all have both heard me say this, right? So this is my usual spew on relationships, right? So you got 10 boxes, 9 of the boxes are checked. One box isn't being checked. Someone is giving you 90% of what you asked for. Is that 10% really that fucking important? Both of y'all.
Was that a question?
Yeah. Is that 10% really that important?
It depends on what 10% is. Wait, hold on, because that's a real question. Because what if that 10% is important to me? Like, what if that 10% you can't cook? Like, I guess that don't matter either. I can cook for myself.
Right. Like, see, when you just have the conversation and there's no emotion involved, you don't feel no type of way. You just dialoguing. Is that 10% really important? Because in the moment, that 10% may feel like fucking Everest. But the reality of the situation is that 10% really that fucking important? Now, I'm not saying that there's not consequences to your actions. I'm not saying that you won't be held accountable. So, example, you decide you think you're going to put me on pussy punishment. Understand, somebody's hole is getting filled. It does not have to be yours. So at that point, you have effectively failed to give me that 10%. And I choose to get that 10% met elsewhere. We can conversate, we can dialogue about that. You can be upset if you want to, like, that's cool. But when I tell you, you didn't meet this aspect of our relationship, and then I come to you and like, okay, now you're telling me you're mad because I quote unquote cheated on you, because you know I'm not a firm believer in that, the concept of cheating. No, like, I didn't cheat on you. Like, when you look up cheat, it's to have an unfair advantage to get to the same goal. Clearly, fucking wasn't your goal, so I wasn't fucking you. Now everything else is good though. You know what I'm saying? Like finance, dialogue, conversation, fucking child rearing, you know, fucking companionship, all of those things. Everything's good except for actual physical affection, physical intimacy. Everything else is good. Like at that point, is it time to dialogue about, yes, I'm going to fuck other people. You can accept it or reject it, but understand at this point, you're the one that's leaving. And like people do it on a regular basis. Like, you know, that, you know, okay, everything is straight. Dude decides he wants to fuck around because you don't want to fuck. He going about it, you know, he gonna go do his thing. He taking care of the crib, everything is good, but your feelings is hurt now because you feel like you're getting embarrassed or cheated on or whatever the fuck. But it's something you're unwilling to give him. At that point, you know, and look, to be perfectly honest, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If a chick feel like she not getting poked out the right way at the crib, her dude want to sit on the phone and talk to his homies or fucking play video games. He want to spend too much time at his mom's house, whatever the hell he doing. If she wants something and he ain't giving her none, I feel like she got every right to go get poked out by whoever the fuck she want to go get poked out by. Personally, I ain't saying, look, anybody listening, you try that shit if you want to. Your dude probably gonna fuck you up, but that's how I feel about it. like I'm dead ass. Like, so I'm available, right? At the end of the day, say we have a disagreement, right? So I'm giving you an example. We have a disagreement. We have a heated exchange of dialogue between us, and you. At this point, everything is uncomfortable. If you put your mouth on my dick or you fuck me, that don't mean the argument's over. That means you understand that I have some sexual tension that you would like to relieve and I would like you to relieve, and it's all good. We could argue about this shit tomorrow, but right now it's 1:30 in the morning. It's time to fuck each other or go to sleep, one of the two. I don't have a problem with that exchange. Like we just was going at each other, and now, you know, fuck, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, argument's over. We pick this shit up tomorrow. But right now, I want to fuck. In most people's minds, it doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, their moods, like, oh, now I got an attitude, blah 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 blah. Like, well, your mouth ain't got an attitude because you've been running it for so fucking long. You suck my dick, or I'm going to go get my dick sucked. One of the two. That's how I feel. And I'm pretty sure I'm not an anomaly in that way. I'm pretty sure there are women in the world who, you know, after an argument, whatever, okay, cool. The situation hasn't been, we haven't come to a reasonable solution. However, we about to go to bed and my pussy's wet and I want to be fucked. If her dude is one of them weirdos who can't perform or won't perform or think he's gonna put her on dick punishment, I'm saying she could go. She should go handle her shit. Thoughts?
I totally.
And I'm all about accountability because there is fallout behind that. Are you prepared for the fall? I'm always prepared for the fallout personally. Like, I'm good. Like, what you gonna do at this point? Like, I can do everything alone. I don't need you. So if I choose to fuck somebody other than you, understand you had a hand in that because you could have fucked me. Like, that's the truth.
I'm gonna tell you, I disagree with the only. No, I pretty much agree with everything you said. I do.
I was waiting. I was like, wait, you disagree? This is gonna get good.
I was about to, and I just couldn't. I couldn't find nothing to disagree about. I was like, I mean, it is true. I mean, like, okay.
I mean,
you know
like,
what?
look. So listen, no, hold on. So my 90% rule is a simple rule to be understood, right? The problem is most people don't compartmentalize the relationship in that way. I'm aware that when sex is taken off the table, other things typically get taken off the table too. So it's not just the 90%. I'm saying in the case of only 10%, 20% is missing. But typically, if you don't want to fuck me, you got an attitude, which means you don't want to hang out either. You don't want to sit down, you don't want to watch Netflix, you don't want to shut the fuck up. You don't want to do none of those things. So that's the companionship part being taken off the table as well. And then if you got an attitude and you don't want to fuck me, you probably don't want to talk. So now communication is being taken off the table as well. So now we at 70-30. Now we got real issues. We might need to break the fuck up. I'm watching.